Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another weekly recap. It's been a minute since the last one due to holidays and then New Year's and all that good stuff. So we're back on track here with some pretty cool things to go over across several different card games. So
don't forget, if you guys want to help support the channel and things we do here, visit Hacklehook Factory in the description below. There's a new set for Force of Will coming out. I know most of you are here follow that. And you can actually go pre-order the new starter decks as well as a new set. I'm expecting that we'll get spoilers from the company sometime next 2 to 3 weeks, probably.
yeah, and well, technically one that we'll be talking about today. So
Yep. I just want to say one thing real quick. You called it a recap. We went from roundup to wrap up to recap.
oh, what it does? It's squished up everything.
Go ahead. We'll go ahead and start it up.
So first up with Force of Will news is the first GP of the season was announced. Now technically they announced the GP season that'll have stuff, but for one reason or another, everything else is TBD. But the first one, and obviously the closest one, is a GP that will be happening in February in Las Vegas. So that's pretty interesting. It's actually going to be several different things going on there, so it should be exciting for people who play multiple card games. It is inside of a convention, so you do that convention entering fee, but it is pretty cheap. It's $25 for one day or $50 for the whole weekend. So if you're planning on going, you can make a whole thing about it. Not even including the fact that it's in Las Vegas, which obviously there's plenty of things to do there.
Yeah. The convention is actually called Level Up Expo, so if anybody wants to go research that, you can actually look up some of the guests they have coming over, in case, because a lot of people who play Force of Will may be anime fans, and there's a lot of anime voice actors who are going to be there. English voice actors.
Especially My Hero Academia and such. One of my favorite anime English voice actors will be there, so...
So it's a convention, and there's a lot of things going on. One of the other things is actually an Argent Saga. Is it Championship is happening that same day?
Championship 5 will be happening that same day, as well as, I believe, a Dragon Ball tournament and something else. I'm blanking now on the others, but there's quite a few there for one reason or another.
Now, when it comes to the Force of Will, the entry for the event itself is like $25 for one day, $50 for multiple days, or for the whole weekend. And it's going to be a free entry for Force of Will for the actual GP, so you can go and play in that, no charge. For Argent Saga, they'll be charging their normal pricing for entry of their tournaments.
Yeah, and the pricing for Force of Will is what you expect with the metal rulers and all that stuff. And did they announce what the ruler was that will be for top 8?
I don't think so. I don't recall.
And then first place gets the unpaid invite, unfortunately. I think in other countries they might be still doing paid invites, but it'll be funded by the distributors, not by the company. But here in the U.S., every single invite will be unpaid. The promo was revealed for the event. This is the entry promo, I believe. And it's... what was this promo again, Oscar? I have it pulled up.
I forget. Because we're doing really bad for doing a wrap up.
Well, I thought you had this all pulled up, but I'll pull it up. It's okay. I'll do all the work. It's fine.
Event information. I don't know if it's been shown. Okay, it's Excalibur and it's Laneth for the metal.
Yeah. I just pulled that up, and it is obviously for Excalibur. It is the same art. It's just it's the exact same thing we have as a promo already, I believe. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but it being a free entry at least mitigates that. So it doesn't feel like you're not getting your money's worth with the entry fee because you're not paying for it outside of the convention itself. And then the Laneth as well. I'll have the images of that right here.
I mean, arguably, it is different in the fact that it's full art now, and the other one was not full art, unless you got the 4 boxes worth. But we are used to the fact that in promos, we normally got a unique card. You know, like the only one I can remember is Soul and Little Red Riding Hood, because those were pretty good promos.
Well, no, Excalibur wasn't. Was it this one or was it the other one that was the? Was it the pre-release promo or the buy box promo? I forget.
Buy box was Len's Regalia.
Oh, okay. What was the pre-release promo?
Apologies. Leneth's promo was the pre-release promo. Leneth was the buy box.
Okay, I'm getting that confused. Yeah. But yeah, so that's that, and we'll let you guys know as soon as other GPs come up. Specifically, if you guys are planning to attend this, the registration will be February 21st at 5 p.m. To 8 p.m. and then and then February 22nd, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So, moving on from that, Oscar, you wanted to do the next one?
Yeah, we have Roller League promos that were shown. They have the Foxstone and Shakti. The Foxstone is actually pretty cool to some, I'm sure. It's the Italian promo originally, so it was only available in Italy in this form. Now it's actually available everywhere in this form. So I thought it's cool because we can actually get our hands on some if we go to our LGS and get some promos. But some might argue that the value of theirs may have gone down a bit as a result. I know there's probably concern about what else could end up being a promo like this because there was some pretty unique cards that have been printed in the past for like the Rulers of Moria, that really exclusive one, the Dragon's Claw looking one. But that was pretty cool. And then we also got a Wanderer League promo, which was one that was just shown recently. It's weird that it's a Wanderer League promo, not just a Ruler League promo. Maybe it's a typo, who knows? But this one was called Don't Cheat.
Yeah, it's...
I believe it's translated to. It's just, these rough translations. Who knows what it's actually, if it actually is what it's called. And you want to read that one? Because I actually don't have that.
Yeah, let me pull it up here. And going on the thing of like, was it a typo or something like that? I'm kind of thinking that it might have been, because looking at this, the Foxstone is obviously a Wanderer card, whereas Don't Cheat is a brand new Frontiers card. So maybe they accidentally switched those, because Foxstone obviously is not a New Frontiers Ruler League card.
That's a good point. Yeah, that may have been. Actually, I've pulled up here. It's a Chant Sword Art quick cast. You may play this card without paying its cost if it targets a spell not played from the hand. Cancel target spell chant. If you control a Wind Regalia, draw a card.
Yeah, so that's actually a really strong card, obviously. It's a really good counter for, I believe you were saying rune decks? Or that are chant slash
remnant
rune.
Cards. Right, chant slash runes, remnant cards, and there's something else I can't even remember it.
I don't know what you might be thinking of, but well, I guess no. Yeah, I don't know. But so that could potentially be, and also obviously if there's new cards they're coming out with that interacts with it, this is a preemptive counter to that if there's anything new coming out. So, and even without it being played for free, it's already essentially a one cost if you are running Regalia in your deck, which I would assume you are. So it definitely could be a very strong card and shut down entire decks that were from the previous cluster, which I'll be curious to hear everyone's thoughts on this card as well. And maybe we'll delve into it more discussion-wise, like on the podcast or something.
Yeah. Standby cards if we go back to standby cards. Yeah. I realized it. I was like, oh.
Wait, would it? Because they're not a spell on the chase, are they, when they flip over?
Yeah, they are. Because they could still be canceled by a normal cancel. It's just when you place them into the standby zone, you're not using the chase to put them there, but it's using the chase when it comes out to activate.
So next up, just showing off here that we got box art for the new starter decks. And for anyone curious, you can get a better look at some of those.
Commenting on that promo of Don't Cheat, I'm not a huge fan of that artwork. I don't know what it is. It just it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I was pointing out to Oscar that I thought it was interesting because if you look at it, it has a lower amount of shading. And the style of the character in the background reminds me a lot of Casters, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, a character lacking background.
A very
True
bright
background.
character with colors around it and a very sort of one tone as far as the colorization. But next thing I wanted to mention briefly before we move on to the next card game subject is we did recently have our 100th podcast. So huge thanks to everyone who's been supporting us and allowed us to do 100 of those podcasts.
Real cool knowing a lot of y'all have been listening to a lot, like since the beginning, and all of those. It means a lot to know that y'all listen to us ramble and argue with each other a lot. Another thing that we did, if you want to go check it out, is it was originally a live stream. We went ahead and trimmed the beginning off to start off when the podcast would start. So you don't have to worry about us doing a lot of setup and rambling. It just kind of starts off. And we had guests with us, Ryan Miles, Jeff Finnegan, and they definitely gave us a lot of insight coming from their standpoint of card design. I think.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting discussions. It's a 2-hour podcast, the longest we've ever done. So if you guys can go through it, you can. But the reason it went that long is just Ryan and Jeff had a lot of interesting discussions and points and stuff like that I thought was just great conversation and everything. Plus, and it also didn't help that Joey may or may not have during the stream drank a like $40 bottle of wine by the end of it. So if you're, I'd recommend going and checking that out. But
it was definitely fun having him there after it ended, and
we kept talking. We kept.
Yeah, we talked for another 2 or 3 hours after that. But it's a lot of fun. Check it out. My favorite part was at the very end when, I don't know if it was Ryan, I think, said, yeah, see you guys next year for the 200th episode. And Jeff's like, wouldn't that be 153? It's like, yeah, it really would be.
Freaking math.
But that was pretty good. Go check it out.
All right, so moving on to Argent Saga. I'll start off with this first one, which was just something that I thought was fun that I would point out, which, well, I start with first. We were given a couple cards to spoil for Expansion 3 coming out here, Conviction, so I'd highly recommend going and checking out our video where we spoil those couple cards and go into in-depth discussion about them, because one of them was pretty good and the other was super good in my opinion. The one that was super good, though, someone pointed out, does have a typo on it. It has IT''S for part of the sentence when it should say ITS, which, so basically it says, instead of saying it triggers its ruined ability twice, it says it triggers it is ruined ability twice, essentially. So it's probably too late to fix that typo, so that's going to trigger me a little bit, but I thought that was funny that someone pointed that out. Next doc, Oscar.
This is a you thing too, but Colin, if you missed it, got to commentate at the Argent Saga. What was it called?
Championship 4 in Fort Worth, Texas.
Right, which was pretty cool. I tuned in a couple times to check it out, see how Colin was doing, make sure he's doing great. Did pretty good job over there. They had a couple technical difficulties on day 2, I think, due to internet issues, but they fixed that pretty quickly. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. I'll let you guys be the judge of whether I did good or not. I was in my a little bit tired day 1 and super tired day 2 for various reasons, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing it. There was a lot of cool matches, especially the very last match, the finals that determined first and second place, was a really great match if anyone tuned in to see that live. But the individual games will be posted on the official Argent Saga YouTube later on, as well as the Team Wars videos, which were unfortunately not live due to internet difficulties, but they were recorded with us commentating. So if you missed that, there was some pretty funny stuff. I wish we could record the audio because it's teams of 3, but they each have one person playing, but they're allowed to coach their teammates. So there's a lot of shit talking and stuff, which is a lot of fun to listen to. But yeah.
It's always cool to go to an event. It's always a lot of fun, especially when you're in there and you're experiencing everything and meeting people. This event, though, unfortunately, only had 45 players in the main event, which is a lower number in comparison to previous events. And there was an argument of being so close to the holidays because it was on the 3rd, the weekend of the 3rd.
It was definitely, in my opinion, because it was so close to Christmas and then right after New Year's. It was definitely too close in the sense of people just don't have the money. They already spent their money flying places for the holidays or visiting relatives and stuff like that. That being said, I was told this was the expected number, so it's not like they were blindsided. I think they knew it might have been like the only day they could get this event maybe, and they want to do something in Texas. I'm not sure the reasoning behind the date, but
there was a vote for 2 different weekends, and I think one was that weekend, and either the weekend after or weekend after.
Okay, so the community is to blame.
It was all this month.
It goes to show that maybe the community is not always right, but it was the expected number is what I was told. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of side events and stuff like that. But moving on to the next one, which is we'll have 2 different card games. The first card game I'll let Oscar talk about here briefly.
Mana Crest?
I guess the subject.
I don't know much
subject
about it.
changed.
I'll talk about the
subject changed a bit. So Mana Crest, it does have less than 1 week left on the Kickstarter. It is fully funded, so I'd highly recommend going and checking that out and backing it. If enough people back, I mean, it can hit one of its stretch goals here. It there's a lot of cool things on here. It's going to be a physical and digital card game, and I've talked about it before, and you can check out my interview with one of the guys a part of it. But I personally love the card design with the full artwork and everything like that. And their strategy behind the digital combined with the physical seems pretty good. So definitely go check that out if you like smaller card games that could potentially be bigger.
Yeah, I'd recommend checking it out as well because they do have a gameplay on their Kickstarter. You can go check it out. It's not overly complex. It looks, pretty straightforward, so you can kind of follow it pretty quickly if you've played a lot of different card games already.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty neat.
Next one.
Am I doing the one at the very bottom? I thought we were going in order because.
Okay, I'll do this one as well. So, also in related news, is there was another card game that was brought to our attention, which is Demi card game. So this is a card game that I also just did an interview for. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. It came out yesterday. And I did an interview with the creator of the game, and he's been working on this game for 4 years, and so he's launching this Kickstarter for it. And the Kickstarter, he said, does not determine whether the game comes out or not. It just determines the speed on which it comes out. But you can pledge for as low as $1, which gives you access to the beta, which will be launching late this year. And you could also get access to the alpha, which will be launching sooner this year. And it'll be a digital card game with a lot of cool things, and it's based on mythology, so Egyptian mythology, Norse mythology, etc. And there's a lot of cool plans he has to do with that, both on the digital and potentially physical side. So I'd go check out that interview for more details, but it's definitely something I think is cool. I'll be backing it just because it's super cheap to back it and get access to some cool rewards, such as animated cards. So, yeah.
Yeah. It looked really cool too because you go look at their Kickstarter, you see some trailer videos. They have an Egyptian deck. I'm probably gonna try to play that in some way if I have to go get an account or whatever. But that was really cool looking.
And so last bit.
Next one up is there's a card game that was brought to our attention because a lot of the bigger personalities in social media within the card game world had their attention brought to it as well. And that's this card game called Eternia. It's referred to as Eternia TCG, but I believe it's just a box you buy when it comes out that has everything included. It's not really a trading card game, but it's a card game. Anyways, if it's something you're interested in checking out, I don't know too much detail on it. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew about it. Check it out on Facebook. They do have a Discord. I believe links on their Facebook page as well. And the bigger part was they have a proxy that you can print out at home to give their card game a try after you've read the instructions on how to play. So I thought it was pretty cool. It's something that we want to try. Maybe we'll give it a shot, create the gameplay video of us giving it a try, and put it on the channel so you guys can check it out even more. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, it definitely looks super interesting. I'm pretty interested to try it and see how it goes as well. But yeah, that's all the news for this wrap up. If we missed anything, let us know below, and we'll be sure to pin your comment or something like that, especially if it's something major we missed. But a lot of cool stuff going on in the card game community, both for Force of Will, Argent Saga, and then all these other side card games that are coming up. I think is pretty exciting, so I'm really excited to follow a lot of this and see how it all plays out.
Yep. And we'll see you next time.